Hello, my name is Robin Tamanaha. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist here in Santa Ana. So, today, what I'm going to talk about is sleep. This video would be helpful for those of you noticing that you're having difficulty winding down at night to sleep, or maybe you're having difficulty getting enough sleep or quality sleep. So, there's a lot of causes to this. One is distractions, whether it be texting on our phone, looking at social media on the phone, or watching TV shows like Netflix, Hulu, or the TV shows on Amazon. Another one is increased anxiety, and this could be maybe there's certain things going on in your social life that are making you anxious or academically at school. Another one, if you're an adolescent, is there's a lot of biological changes going on. So hormone changes is actually a contributing factor too to sleep difficulties, as well as disruptions in the environment. So this could be maybe the room that you're living in, if you're sharing it with maybe a family member or a roommate, or maybe the home or the setting that you're living in general has certain noises or things going on that's very distracting and affecting your sleep quality. Another one, if you're a student, is activities at night like studying. So sometimes what happens is after that, people find it difficult to wind down their mind in order to go to sleep. So when someone experiences difficulties getting enough sleep or quality sleep, it can lead to the person feeling just really tired and that they don't have much energy during the day. Another thing is memory problems or just difficulty concentrating and focusing in general. Another one is mood. So the person may just notice that maybe they're having less patience than they usually do, as well as performance difficulties. So someone may notice that they're just not functioning how they usually do throughout the day. Maybe there's forgetting certain things or just not going through their day in like their normal fashion, like something just feels off. So when it comes to sleep difficulties, fortunately, there's something you can do to really work on this. What this would be is actually creating a sleep routine. Some children would know this as like a bedtime routine, and this is something that the parents or caregivers or guardians did at night to assist the child in getting ready for bed, whether it was like, now it's bath time, now it's story time. So there were lots of steps involved before putting the child into bed to go to sleep. And it's actually important to have a sleep and a bedtime routine in adolescence and even adulthood. So what I would say for this is first, think about and brainstorm different things that you can do to wind down, or just think about things that just help you wind down and relax in general, whether it be like a warm or hot bath or shower that really relaxes your body, or something that engages the senses like a certain candle or a fragrance like lavender or even eucalyptus even is something that can help someone kind of de-stress. And another thing to consider too, as far as, what would help you just wind down is thinking about certain things that help your body feel comfortable. So this could be maybe a certain pillow. There's pillows of all types, whether they're really flat or ones that are a little more cushiony and bigger, or there's memory foam. So thinking about a pillow that when you lay down, it just feels comfortable, because it's really important for your body itself to be comfortable, so that you can fall asleep more easily. Another thing to consider is, like pajamas. Like you just like in the winter and summer months during the day, we dress a certain way so that we feel comfortable with the temperature. The same works for bedtime. Is there certain types of, pajamas or things that help you feel cozy and comfy in bed? Um, or even like a certain blanket, even. Some people, it's like a sheet, like they just really can't have a lot of blankets, whereas others, they not only like a lot of blankets, but maybe ones that have a certain weight to them, so they're thicker, and the pressure of that really just helps the person feel more calm and feel more relaxed. And another thing too is if you would like some assistance in just relaxation in general, I'd encourage you to explore different relaxation apps. I'm really big on apps because there's so many out there that are helpful. The two that I've noticed people have the biggest help with is one. It's called Stop, Breathe, and Think, and what that one does is it'll have you first it'll dim the screen on your phone, have you close your eyes for about 10 seconds, and just really check in with yourself and your mind and your body. And after that 10 seconds is up, it'll have you answer a little questionnaire. And the first one is, how does your mind feel? And it'll have you select different options, whether it's great, good, meh, that's actually an option, or like awful or bad. And then it'll have you answer the same ones for how does your body feel. And then the third screen will say, how are you feeling? So it'll have you select a certain amount of emotions that you're feeling in the moment. And then from there, it'll provide you with a list of guided relaxation meditations that you can do just based off of the questions that you just answered. And if you don't want to do that, you could just go straight to the long list. And those do include like deep breathing, as well as some of them are more like mindful or like imagery things that it talks you through to help you wind down. Another app that is also for relaxation, but it's a little more interactive, it's called #selfcare. And that one, it does have the deep breathing one. So when you click on the lotus, it'll have this lotus appear, and it'll get bigger and then smaller, and it's prompting you to inhale and then exhale. There's also another one that will, if you press on it, it's a tree, and what it'll have you do is extend from the tree trunk to create multiple branches. And so it's just something that, for you to really focus on, to really calm down your mind and distract your mind from other things that you may be thinking. There's even one that has a cat. So if you click on the cat that's in the corner of the screen, it'll have you like move your finger so that you're petting the cat, and the cat will start purring. And throughout all these different activities in the #selfcare app, there's really calming music playing in the background. And there's a lot of other activities in that one if you want to explore it and check it out. So that's another thing you can do if you want also something that's a little more guided, something a little more interactive that you could be doing to help you wind down. So once you think of different things that just help you wind down in general, the next thing to think about is, first off, how long are these things going to take? Because before you even close your eyes to go to sleep, you'll be doing these things. So kind of calculating that so that you know when to start doing these things that just help you wind down in general, so that you're in bed by a certain time so that you can get the sleep you need. And the amount of sleep that you will need will depend on you. Everyone is different in how much sleep they need to feel like rested and good the next day. So another thing to consider too is thinking about what would keep you awake. So whenever we have a plan on how we're going to do something, it's always important to think about what are things that may deter us from that plan. And one that I'm really going to emphasize is the phone, the cell phone. I know it's like really hard to one put it down. So one thing you can test out is if you have the iPhone, there's in the settings, it's called night shift. And what that does is it'll change the screen from the blue tint to a yellow tint. And this is important because studies have shown that that blue tint, when it comes to TV screen, computer screen, and cell phone screen, is that it does keep us awake. So the yellow light helps combat that, so that if you happen to be on your phone by a certain time, then at least that yellow light will appear so that it's not keeping you awake. And you can actually in the settings set it so that it comes on a certain time each night. So it's just automatic. Um, Another thing to consider when it comes to the phone is that there's also a setting called Do Not Disturb. And what that does is it'll pretty much have it so that if you get a text message or a phone call or like an Instagram notification or a Facebook message, you won't hear the sound. Like you'll see the next day, the phone calls or the text messages that you received at night, or the notifications through social media, but the sound won't go off, so it's not going to wake you up or keep you up. And the good thing about this setting is that it'll pretty much make it so the only thing that really goes off on your phone will be the alarm the next day. And many people do use their cell phones for their morning alarm. So if you use this, at least like what is important, the most important is you waking up at a certain time. That'll still happen because the alarm will still occur. So another thing to consider too when it comes to things that may possibly be keeping you up awake at night is maybe it's certain things in the environment. Some are very easily distracted or woken up by noise. So there's different types of earplugs that you could try to test out, whether it's the foam ones or the ones that are a little more like waxy. For other people, it's actually the opposite, to where complete silence is something that would not help them fall asleep, and they would need some sort of noise. And this is what we call essentially white noise. So if you have a fan and it's not super cold at night, you could have the fan on, so it's just like that noise is going. There's also this app called Relax Melodies, and there is a fan option on that. There's also the sound of rain and some like nature sounds. So if you need sounds, then and you don't have a fan or it's too cold, you could also try that app. And it's enough to where at least it's not going to keep you up at night. So another thing too, especially if you have roommates, dorm roommates, or maybe even siblings, is what they're doing at night. So a big thing could be maybe they come in and it's like super late, or maybe they're studying in your guys' dorm room, and there's like the light that's there that's keeping you awake. So I highly encourage you to get like a sleep mask. And I've noticed the ones that have I believe it's like rice or some sort of beans inside, because it's thicker. When you put it on, it's like complete darkness where you won't see anything. So that's one, as well as trying to communicate, your schedule or your needs to your roommate at the least, kind of informing them like that this is my schedule and this is when I'm going to be, getting into bed, and this is when I need to be awake. If that's a little awkward too, maybe doing the opposite and finding out theirs. So knowing their nighttime schedule and their study schedule, if it's in their room, then at least you can also tailor what you do at night to help you get more sleep, because maybe what they're doing is, and their schedule is really distracting. So when it comes to the sleep routine, bedtime routine, what will happen is as you're testing out different things and then you have your set, you'll notice that your body and your mind will get used to it. So then by the time um you've just gone through the routine, you may notice that you fall asleep pretty effortlessly, excuse me. So I'd highly encourage you to just, give it a shot, try different things, see what works for you. If you're noticing that it's not working, or what you're experiencing is really, really intense, like you're having extreme difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, waking up um, frequently, or even getting sleep, but then waking up the next day still super tired, like you don't feel rested at all. In that case, what I would say is definitely making an appointment with a doctor to rule out something medical. Could be insomnia, maybe sleep apnea, or something else. So at least finding out that first, if what you're experiencing is pretty extreme or the things that you're already doing is just not helping at all. So, just a disclaimer too is this is not in any way a substitute for therapy. So, if you're noticing that the things keeping you up at night are difficult to manage, whether it be managing very large emotions, depending on what you're experiencing in your life right now, or maybe you've experienced a really big, like, traumatic change or event that's keeping you up with PTSD. There's difficulty in falling asleep or even having nightmares, and the nightmares is what wakes up someone to where it's so scary that they're going to have a hard time falling asleep. Or maybe you're experiencing some depression, or especially those of you that maybe experiencing some symptoms of bipolar disorder. The sleep difficulty component is a huge part of the diagnosis. So in all these cases, I'd highly encourage you to seek out some therapy so that you can at least discuss how to manage what you're currently experiencing, go a little deeper in talking about your own unique experience with what you're going through so that the therapist can help you with that. If you're in or around Santa Ana in Orange County, I do have some availabilities. It's on the weekends though, so you could always reach out to me. We can do I do a free 15-20 minute phone consult to really talk about things, answer all your questions. So that's one option, as well as if you're further away or you need something more during the week, there's always like Psychology Today or going to your local college counseling center. So I hope this was helpful, and thank you very much for watching, and definitely check again in the future for the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.